Good morning from beautiful Moscow, Russia. Today I'm going to take you to a different area. Most people, when they think about Russia, they think of the old Soviet buildings, the Soviet mosaics, Red Square, Kremlin, all this type of stuff. I'm going to take you to a part of Moscow that is very modern. Very tall skyscrapers everywhere, brand new malls, a very beautiful area. It's called Moscow City. And fun fact, 7 out of the 10 largest skyscrapers in Europe are located right here in Moscow. And thank you to the Kremlin for bringing out the sun today. It does feel good when the sun's out here in Moscow because it is pretty chilly right now. I mentioned in my previous video, next week is May and the high these days is like 5 degrees. But I just looked at the weather app. Right when I leave Moscow, it's 20 degrees again. First things first, we are going to get some coffee. I believe if I go this way, there's a couple coffee shops. Actually, I just checked. We need to go this way. So it's the opposite of the other direction that I just pointed at. One thing about this part of Moscow, there's a lot of very nice restaurants and very high-end stores. Lots of boutique style stores though. I actually found a coffee shop over here. It's called Coffee Kiss. Let's go inside. I had to wait for them to make a fresh batch of filtered coffee. I know you guys care about prices a lot, so this coffee was 500 Russian rubles. It makes sense for the area, but it is on the more expensive side when it comes to coffee in Russia. Man, I do love this area though. I know it's a little bit more expensive in this area than other places, but I love it. It's a different vibe over here. I'm just in a normal residential area. G-Wagon over there. There's a Bentley behind it. You got a nice Benz over here. You have a Brabus Benz over here. And I'm not even in some crazy modern area. Look at this car. I'm not in a crazy nice area with modern buildings. And all you see are these nice cars parked everywhere. Always makes me wonder what these people do for a living. I take that back. I'm not in a random area in Moscow. I'm in the center ring. So even though those apartments might not look brand new, they're probably still really expensive. If you're Russian and you know the price of this area on average, let me know in the comment section. I actually don't know where to look. Double washrooms they have over here. You put some money in there and you get yourself a clean one. Looks nice. So it's 60 rubles. Driving me nuts because it's all jammed over here. I keep going the wrong way, so I finally just asked someone. So my maps was pointing me this direction. I'm supposed to be all the way over there. So thank God I asked somebody where to go. You get what happened, right? Because it's jammed, it's saying the station is this way, but it's actually down there. Word of advice, get an approximate idea of where you have to go from the maps. Once you get to that area, ask someone where you have to go, and trust me, it'll save you a lot of time. Dude, everything in Moscow is so much bigger. It takes like 10 minutes to cross this road. And there are so many crossing points. There's one over here, there's one over here, there's one over there, there's one over there, there's one over here. So I have to walk all the way this way, cross over there, just to get over there. Meanwhile, I started over there. I went that way because my Yandex Maps is messed up. Now I'm coming back this way. I'm doing a whole circle right now. But at least I get to see some nice buildings like this one. What is that, an old church? It's building the metro? No way. I was looking for an M because that's what you usually have to look for when you want to get in the metro station over here. They have M's all over. But over here, I don't see it. What does that say? Mempol. Mempol. I'm guessing that says metro in Cyrillic. Yeah, this is the M that I usually look for. This one right here. I usually look for this. And they're all over, but for this one, I don't see it. So we are at the Arbatskaya station. So this right here is the light blue line. So I could put cash over here. I'm just wondering, is there an option to change this to English? Let me figure this out. I'll get right back to you guys. Okay, so this one is for one trip. So 90 rubles for one trip. It is not working, mate. Now, are you gonna take it or not? Right there, come on, take it. No. Oh, son of a gun. Alright, take this one. Yes, it took it. Okay, perfect. So I got it right here, like that. Spasibo. So one thing that I found really cool in Russia, they brought facial recognition. So you could actually use that here in the metro. So for example, you'll see some people, it'll scan their face and they just walk in. They actually don't have to hit anything. But since we're not registered over here, we're just gonna use this. All right, let's figure out which side we have to go on. So we are going to Delavoy to center. Delavoy to center. The Fileyovskaya line. This stop is called Kievskaya. This is the whole Moscow metro. Look how big it is. It's crazy. One of the biggest I've ever seen. But one thing that I find very interesting, look at all the green space everywhere. So these are all parks. Look at this. It's just surrounded. All parks. See? All around Moscow. This would be the biggest one over here. Okay, let's go. So this is the stop. I actually came the right way. This looks like a nice metro station. I'm assuming it's brand new. Okay, so I'm guessing I just leave this way. Oh, I see the sign. It's in Cyrillic, but I know that's what it says. So I believe my exit is this one. I'm positive that's the name. It's called Affirm Mall or Center or whatever. Saw me, I pointed at the Kievskaya station and I gave a little scary look. It's actually not that scary. So if you know about history, which I won't go into too much history in this video, the Kievan Rus was a really popular time for Russian people. That's why you'll still see the name Kiev everywhere in Russia. It's part of their history. It's the Kievan Rus. There's no Kiev without Rus for the Russian people. Yes, that's where we're going. Afi Mall City. So this is right in the middle of all of modern Moscow city. So right when I come out, look, this is what I mean when I mean everything is modern in this area of Moscow. This machine is scanning the area so it knows which direction to go to clean. And it doesn't hit anybody. See, it's scanning everywhere. You see the lasers on the ground? Very cool. Let me get out of its laser. See, it has one laser right over there too. That is pretty cool, but there goes somebody's job. Look at this bubble tea place. Does it not remind you of Haiti in China? Look at the logo. This one's called Dream Tea. It looks exactly the same. Let's grab a drink from the supermarket over here. And I'll show you guys what a supermarket looks like in the modern part of Russia. So look at this first of all. Everywhere you go in Russia, you'll find flowers. See this one, they even have their prices over here. So this will run you 3,600 rubles. But yeah, let's grab a drink because I am thirsty. Man, this is a very nice supermarket. Look at these pizzas. All these energy drinks are so famous in this part of the world. This is for Uzbek bread. See, right over here. This is famous bread from Uzbekistan. In this supermarket, it's 90% self-checkout. It's so hard to find a counter that accepts cash. The tobacco stand to use cash over here. And everyone in front of me is also a foreigner. All the Russians are using self-checkout. This is the self-checkout area. Look at how many machines they have. There's got to be over 20 machines over here. And then there's no security when you leave the actual supermarket. So it looks like they don't have the problems that we have in North America, where people are running away with their groceries. I'm pretty sure this is the exit right over here. They told me to go to exit number 4. Do I have to go through this thing? No. Exits. Whoa. That was close. Oh wow, there's an exit from the metro right over here. I could have came from here. Always happens to me, always happens to me. Where are we? This does not look like Russia. Not the Russia that they show you. That's for sure. Look at this place. Wow. By the way, that says Moscow. And I believe that says city. So this area is commonly known as Moscow City. So 7 out of the tallest skyscrapers in Europe are right here in Moscow. But the tallest building in Russia is actually in St. Petersburg. So Moscow's tallest skyscraper is actually only the 53rd tallest skyscraper in the world. St. Petersburg, which has the tallest one in all of Russia, it's number 16, I believe, in the world for tallest skyscrapers. Man, if I told some people this is Russia, nobody would believe me. So this area is over 3 decades in the making. I believe it was like 1992 where they had the idea to make a business center like this here in Moscow, to make Moscow the economic hub of not only all of Russia, but make it an economic hub of Europe also. And what's even more interesting is you would think construction has slowed down in Russia because of the current political situation, but it's actually booming right now. So a lot of investment now is internal. So for example, 2 brand new buildings are going up right beside this beauty right over here. Look at that. Look at the most insane building. It looks like they built it and then they twisted it. Look at this building over here. Look at that. What a cool looking building. Be honest. If I randomly put you here and I told you this is the most sanctioned country on the planet, would you believe me? Does it look like the most sanctioned country on the planet? Because you know what, to me, there are countries with no sanctions that look way worse than this. They have these delivery robots. Look at that. I didn't know they had those in Russia. I thought it would be hard to have those in Russia because it snows a lot, right? Especially in Moscow. What happens in the winter time to that? It's not going too fast, but it's going. Wow. There are so many buildings. I didn't even notice all the buildings back there. Look, even on that side, they're building so many more buildings. I think that's across the river though, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have these 3 over here. So depending on how you measure Russia's economy, nominal GDP versus PPP GDP, it's anywhere from 4th largest in the world to 9th largest in the world, which is not small at all, especially considering it's the most sanctioned country on this planet. What was the last time I checked? I think it was about 29,000 sanctions or 26,000. Once you get to that many sanctions, what's the difference anyways? Does it even make a difference? 26,000, 29,000? Look at this place. 26,000, 29,000 sanctions. Make it 100,000. Who cares? Does it make a difference? Look how beautiful this place is. All right, now I'm hungry. Let's go back in that mall and grab some food. One's parked over here and it has a number on it. So I'm guessing somebody from this office building is going to come open it. And it's a different company than the one that we saw before. So you check your number over here, you scan the QR code, and then the top will open. And being the only modern part of Moscow, I can only imagine how expensive this place is. So here's another thing that's common over here. You get these Maybachs. A lot of them are personal drivers, but a lot of them are actually Yandex. I checked from my hotel, I think it was $25 US to get a ride in the Maybach over here. It's about a 15-minute ride. Let's go back in here. I also think I could cut through the other side that we haven't seen yet from over here too, because there's an exit that way. So I showed you guys the side that's not too busy. Look at this part over here. Man, everyone's hanging out on this side. Over here, you're right between all the buildings. We didn't see any of these actually. And then here are all the food delivery bikes. So I guess there's a lot of popular restaurants here for there to be this many bikes over here. It's all Yandex. All these yellow ones are Yandex. And that's Ozone. I have no idea what that is. Maybe it's competition to Yandex. So Yandex is a mega player here in Russia. For those of you that don't know, it's a mega tech player. Imagine Uber, Uber Eats, Expedia, Instacart, Google Maps. They even have a metro application where you could just scan your Yandex metro application. They have everything. Imagine all that being one company. That's what Yandex is here in Russia. Everyone walking in here. So let's see, is it another mall? Oh, it looks like an office building. Let's go see. Looks like the first floor of an office building. Wow, they even have a bar over here. Yeah, it just looks like a big office building. A really nice office building. Imagine coming downstairs from work and this is what you have. So this is one of the more popular bubble tea brands over here in Russia right now. Pims. I see them everywhere. I also see this place everywhere, French bakery. Believe it or not, it's actually not that busy right now because it's a Saturday morning. I could only imagine how busy it is during the week when everyone's at work. Coffee everywhere. You see this every single 4 minutes in Moscow. Let's go back outside. Nothing here was for me. I need to eat some food. I'm sure there's a big food court in this mall. Oh, here's another one of these robots. Let's see, does he stop for these people? Yeah, he actually does. Good sensors. Oh, and there's another one over there, competition. That one over there is Yandex. You see it's yellow? Same color as this one that he has over here. Yandex is everywhere. They've got this whole market on lockdown. Look, it looks like an Apple store. They even have the new iPhone 17 Pro. Crazy beautiful mall. It's so nice. I love how they put a restaurant right in the middle over here. And then behind it is Stars Coffee, the old Starbucks. You know what's crazy? I bet when all the political stuff is over with and the Western companies try coming back, I don't know if the old companies that left, for example, KFC is Rustics now, McDonald's is Kuzno, whatever now, Starbucks is Stars now. I'm not sure if these companies will sell back to those companies if they ever do try coming back in the market, because it looks like they're doing fine. What should we eat? So this looks like a burger joint. This looks like Japanese food. Korean street food over here. This is Rustics, so that's the old KFC. You could tell by the logo. I'm not sure what that says. Tepi Mak? Tepi Mak. Not sure what kind of food this is. Actually, I think it might be Russian food. Looks like Russian food. And then over here they have Burger King. Really busy, wow. Why is Burger King so busy? So Burger King actually stayed. They never left. They have some Georgian food, Vietnamese food. Whoa, there's actually a Vietnamese person working here. They have so many different options. Lots of East Asian options. Japanese, Chinese. They have Turkish food over here. Do you just grab your own baklava? That's a first for me. I've never seen that before. Okay, I know what this is because of the sign. This is a pizza place called Dodo Pizza. This Turkish food again? Yeah, Cafe Ankara. So there's 2 Turkish restaurants here. Look at this babushka. She's all shiny and everything. More Asian food, another Vietnamese restaurant over here. I'm seeing steakhouses, Thai chicken. Wow, they really love their Vietnamese, Thai, Japanese, Korean food. They love all that. So I picked this Georgian restaurant because, as I mentioned, Georgian food is so popular in Russia, and for a reason. It's very good. So I think I'm gonna get the same thing I had the other day, which is this thing right over here. It's funny. Right when I opened the menu, it came up. They call it khachapuri in Azharian style with cheese. I'm gonna have that one. 750 rubles. I also want the Georgian dumplings. Basically, khinkali are dumplings. Again, I've never had this dish before. I've had the other one that I'm about to order. I'm gonna order this too to try it. Just imagine Georgian dumplings. Am I correct? Yes. Which one is the most popular khinkali?
It's beef.
Beef? And you order each one by one?
It begins from 3 and more one type.
Okay, can I have 3 of them then?
Yes.
With the khachapuri?
Yes. You need some sauce with it, with khinkali.
What's a
Like
good one?
tamaki sauce, sour cream sauce with garlic, like Georgian famali.
I've never had it. What do you recommend?
You like spicy or not spicy?
It's okay, spicy.
But try satsabeli. Tomato one is good.
You recommend it?
Yeah.
Okay. And cola.
Cola zero or class cola?
Or do you have sparkling water?
Yes. Georgian sparkling water is Borjomi.
Oh yeah, Borjomi. Yeah, I'll have that one.
Okay. You can try also nabeglavi. If you tried Borjomi, you can try nabeglavi now because Borjomi is salty one, but nabeglavi is semi-salty with same gas, and it's more popular in Georgia.
Okay. What's the name?
Nabeglavi.
Nabiglavi? Okay.
Oh, we have like word the because nabeglavi.
Okay.
It's like in English or Latin, it will be nabeglavi.
You also have the Georgian lemon drink?
Lemonade, yeah, we have.
It's like a sparkling.
It's sparkling lemon stand, natachtari. With estragon, with peach.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Give me that one instead. Sorry.
Which one? You want green one?
The lemon.
You want lemon lime, yeah?
Lemon lime.
Yes.
I've heard about this drink. I'll have that one. Thank you. You know what, Georgia? It's actually interesting. Such a small country. They've had such a big impact, especially when it comes to food. People love their food. that sparkling water. I've had it in so many different countries. Imagine a country this big. You see so many of their products around the world. So I got the dumplings. He's going to give me a spicy sauce. And then I also ordered the Georgian pizza, which is called khachapuri. Just the standard one with the cheese, the yolk in the middle. I had it for the first time yesterday and I'm having it again today. That's how much I loved it. Thank you so much. Believe it or not, I've never actually had this drink before, but I hear a lot of people talking about it. So it's lemon and lime. Don't ask me what the name is. Hatach tapen. Yeah, never mind. Very good. It's not salty, so their sparkling water is actually very salty. But Borjomi is a salty sparkling water. This one, it's giving me hints of Sprite, but I guess like a more healthier version of Sprite. So I got the 3 dumplings, which is called khinkali, with beef inside. He gave me some hot sauce. And then I also have the Georgian pizza, which is khachapuri, with the yolk right in the middle of it. All this looks so delicious. I can't wait to eat this right now. Let me put you guys down so I can start. It is dripping. Okay. You know what? That's good. So, exact same texture as any dumpling you've ever had in your life. But the meat inside is very good. There's some greens in the meat. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's mince. I'm not sure what that is, but it goes really well with the dumplings. I've never had dumplings with this style of meat. I guess it's a Georgian style meat with Georgian spices. It tastes really good. Now, he did tell me to have it with the spicy sauce and put it all over. I'm not sure how spicy it is, so I'm just going to dump it everywhere. So that's how much I put on it right over there. Much better with that sauce. The spice level is very light, but wow. You do need the tomato sauce. It adds so much more taste. That's the current situation right now. So I'm mixing the egg yolk right now in this khachapuri. Oh my god, it is blending in so well with the cheese. All right, let's give this a try. Very good. Very, very, very good. I never thought I would ever have an egg yolk in a cheese type of pizza. It actually goes really well with it. Slap some of that on top like that. So yummy, man. 1,450 Russian rubles, and then I left 10% on top as tip. To my understanding, tip is not a thing at all here, but at restaurants, especially these sit-down type of restaurants, people do leave a little something for the waiter. Putin, Team Russia. He even has his own store. Okay, we need to cross that way over there to get home. So we came here on the metro. We're gonna go home a different way. Hopefully there's no troubles with me getting on because I don't have any forms of card payments. I hope this way takes cash. So I'm taking the river boat. It's the first ever electric river boat anywhere on the planet. It's here in Russia, opened about 3 years ago. And it goes through the river all around the center of Moscow. I'm just hoping they accept cash because from what I read online, it might be card only. The only reason why I'm hoping they do take cash is because it's part of the Moscow metro system now. It's public transportation. All right, fingers are crossed that we could get on. Oh, one's leaving right now. Let me show you. That's the one right there. So that's fully electric. And what's even crazier is it's an icebreaker. A lot of people are wondering, so what happens in the wintertime? Does that riverboat still go on? It's an icebreaker also. Not only is it electric, it breaks ice. And not regular ice, Russian winter ice. So here is the map. And then these are the little terminals that you go into. But the problem that I'm having is he's scanning everyone's QR code or transportation card. Let me find out if they accept cash. Hard fail. If you want to use it, make sure you have a transportation card or a local Russian debit card because they don't accept cash. I believe he said it's 150 rubles to go on it too, which is fairly affordable if you ask me. You basically get a river boat ride. It's pretty slow. It's not a fast boat ride at all. for example, it's gonna take me 15 minutes to get back to my hotel on the metro. With this, it would probably take me about an hour, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a nice slow ride along the river for 150 rubles. It's fairly affordable if you ask me. Back here in Patriiki, so I'm staying right there on that street, but let's go this way. Let's go ahead to the pond over here. It looks like because it's good weather, it's finally busy here. This is why I actually booked my hotel here originally. It's usually like this almost every single night during this season. It's just that my luck, right when I got here, it's really cold. But luckily today the sun is out, so a lot of people have come out to enjoy the weather. You're obviously going to see a lot of the same cars driving by because it's one big circle over here. And people usually come here and do a few laps just to show everybody what kind of car they drive. It's very common. So the busy that you see here is still a fraction of how it's going to get when it actually warms up, when it's 20 plus. Wow, that's a loud one. When it's 20 plus degrees every single day. So right there, whoa, that's a nice Maybach. So right there is the pond. I tried coming last night, but it was so cold, couldn't really enjoy it. And as you could see now, there are many people here. What time is it right now? It's 4 o'clock on a Saturday. What a beautiful area. Look how many people are walking. Such a peaceful area. Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna have dinner because that was a lot of food. So maybe we'll just go find some dessert to have and maybe some tea or a coffee and enjoy this beautiful night. Now I think I remember seeing a dessert place up ahead right past that traffic light over there. Man, this area has no shortage of nice cars. Look at these rides. Unbelievable. So yeah, this is Moscow. I'm not sure if many people see this side of Moscow. Man, that almond croissant was so delicious. Wow, that hit the spot. That's actually my dinner for tonight because that Georgian food was a little bit too much for lunch. I am going to close this one out here. Let me know what you thought about the modern parts of Moscow. Let me know if you even knew there is a modern part to Moscow. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm actually trying to grow this channel a lot this year, hoping to hit 100K. See you guys in the next one, and goodbye from beautiful Moscow, Russia.